y'all, it's Denise, and I am in my studio this afternoon, a quiet Sunday afternoon so far, and I thought I would take advantage of it and finish a couple projects that have been sitting on my workbench for months. One of them is one of my little assemblages out of books. I love doing this. I love creating a little shadow box out of old books. Don't remember what this book was, but it looks like I have a bee theme going on because I'm working on this one right now. Also, this is another bee theme, The Life of the Bee. It was a really cool book. I'm kind of sorry I dug into it and altered it, but it's going to be really pretty cute. So let me show you, let me kind of walk you through what I do. Remove some of the elements. Got my frame, got my book, got a piece of glass that I cut, and my inside of the book. Let me see if I can get this guy out of here. Pop this out. This is kind of what inspired it, along with the book being The Life of the Bee. I found this great set of coasters with these really nice little printed bees on them. So I'm going to use that. But what I do when I plan it out is I first of all take my book and I screw it together. Screw my pages from one side and screw my pages from the other side. So the book is loose, but it's going to hold together. And when I'm all done, this will get glued down to cover the screws, and this will get glued down. But first, oh, and I also finish off my backs. I ripped a couple pieces of this paper with the bees and just put them on the back with my little stamped signature, just because I like to have things finished off. So here you go. Here's the book. I flip open and figure out what I'm going to put in it, which was this. So that's going to slip in there. I figure out my cut. Now, when I first started doing these, I used a mat knife and cut. Dangerous, you're going to lose a finger that way, and it takes forever. So someone else, Greg Henson, who does videos and YouTubes on assemblage art. If you haven't seen him, watch his videos because they're pretty great. And he's where I got a lot of my inspiration and where I found out about this Dremel Max Multi-Max tool. And it has a little saw with different blades, and you can literally go in and just cut down like this, if you can see that, and cut into your book and get a nice clean cut without running the risk of losing your fingers, cutting your fingers. Probably not losing them, but cutting them. So I get a nice clean cut in the book, in my book pages, and figure out, and that way I can keep on figuring out how deep down I want to go. For this book, I'm going to drop in my little coaster, and maybe I will just, rather than demonstrate that, I'll go ahead and put it in. And I'm using E6000 for my glue, and I kind of like buying these little ones lately because they don't last as long, but if I don't, they end up like this one, that it's all hard and dried up, and I can't get it out, you know, without cutting the tube. So I'm kind of liking these little ones because, you know, I get all the glue that I need and I can just throw it away and I have to worry about it sitting around and drying up. So there you go. That one is just, it's glued. It was already a tight fit, so I'm going to put him right down in there. And then I wanted to create a honeycomb effect, and this is my honeycomb, and it was actually packing material. I had a piece of it laying here. I don't know what I did with it, but it was the inside of a corrugated packing material. So what I'm going to do, I want this to sit a little above and not right down on the tile that I put in there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my glue, and I ran some straight pins in here, and I'll show you why I did that, because I need this to be held in place. I'm just dabbing some glue on, and I hope this works since I'm videoing it. I hate it when things don't work out and it's on tape, but I think it should. So I'm just sticking the points of the pins in that glue. I'm going to put it right here, and I want it to sit on the upper edge. So I'm going to put it in the upper edge and push those straight pins, one would hope. This seemed like a really good idea when I was planning it out. Push those straight pins right into the pages. And that way it will hold the honeycomb up and away from the tile. Let me get that guy in. And you can kind of push them, you know, stretch the honeycomb where you want it. Gives you a little bit of freedom. And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Oh, I think that pin's going to be too long for where that needs to go. Let's put that one. There we go. So you get the idea of that. So now the honeycomb is sitting up above that little bee tile, which is exactly what I want it to do. Now what I'm going to do is I've already cut a piece of glass, and I really encourage you to, when you're using glass, make sure you get all your little spots off before you put it down for your last time, because once you get it all glued into place, you'll look at it and there'll be a finger smudge, and there's nothing you can do about it because you've already put it together. So make sure you get it nice and clean. Now this glass is the same size of my opening, and I want to put this inside my cover rather than the back of my frame, and I'll show you why in a minute. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this glass to my book cover so that when I actually close it, let's pretend that's glued. There's my glass. My honeycomb is still sticking up above my tile. And then once that's down, I'll glue my book cover closed. And I will probably use either the E6000, or I may use hot glue for that, or a combination of the two. I don't always trust hot glue to keep down long enough, but it's a good temporary lock things into place while the E6000 is drying. Then I've got my little frame. I'm going to set that right on top, line it up with the little rectangle that my title is in, and maybe push it up a little bit, because I thought what I might want to add is a little piece of wood. And this was not quite the right size until I turned it this way. And then it looks like a little shelf that the frame is sitting on. And I really liked that. I liked how that worked out. Now my big decision here, and if you can see that, I don't have it glued down, but I will. But I wanted to kind of give you my thought process on this. I love this little bee, this little shiny bee. If you can see it, it was a little lapel pin, and it is pretty cute and shiny. And everything here, other than the glass, is not shiny. So I liked that shiny on the dull. I could put it here. I could maybe even put it right there. I could put it even on the glass, maybe. Not really sure which one I'm going to do. If I'm going to use that little bee, or if I'm going to use these two rusty bees, and they're just little pieces of tin, in which case I could put one on the wood, on the piece of wood, and I could put one kind of coming off of the side of the book. And I do like that. I like that a lot because it kind of goes along with the natural feeling of the book cover and the piece of wood and the rusty bees. I like it. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. So I don't know what I've left out. It's a pretty simple idea. You know, you just find a great old book. I mean, this is perfect. The Goose Girl is going to be a perfect little assemblage piece. I'm just waiting to find the perfect things to go in it. So if you find books that have great titles on them already to become part of your piece, that's really nice. Look at the cover on this. I almost hate to dig into this one because it is just so pretty. But my son's name starts with a T. Maybe I need to make a piece of assemblage in a book for my son. So there you go. That's what I've got for you so far. I'm going to put it together and I'll come back and show you what it looks like, okay, when it's all done. Thanks. I'll be back. Okay, so here it is. The Life of the Bee. The book is all put together. The glue is still setting up, so hopefully it will be dry. But it makes for, you can see the pages in there. It makes for a fun way to do a piece of assemblage art. And just one more box, one more surface that you can work on. And it's a pretty simple thing. It's just a matter of finding things you want to put inside, making sure that you make your hole deep enough to fit those things, and put a piece of glass over top. The little picture frames are perfect for framing it off and, you know, making it a really great little assemblage, a great little gift for all those queen bees that we know. So give it a try. It's pretty fun. And it's great to look for cool old books and make something out of them. So hope you enjoy it. Hope you get to try it and have a happy Sunday.